Good. All right, thank you. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the November 10th, 2025 Summers County Summers County Board of Education meeting at the Summers County Comprehensive High School. Let the minutes reflect that 4 board members are present and 1 is dialed in remotely. That would be Mrs. Farley. Item 2, Mrs. Harvey, if you would lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item 3, approval of agenda or adjustments.
I need to make a motion that we pull R.T. Rogers from the bills to be paid separately.
A motion by Mr. Brogan, seconded by Mrs. Harvey to pull R.T. Rogers from the bills and handle those separately. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Let the minutes reflect by a 5-0 vote, we will pull R.T. Rogers from the bills and handle that separately. We do have a couple additions to personnel after the publication of the agenda. Under resignations, we need to add Candace Berkshire, Assistant Principal, Summers County Comprehensive High School, effective November 7th. And also under employment, extra duty, extracurricular, volunteer personnel, we need to add, is that the one? Gary Basham, we'll be adding that one as a driver, work program driver. That is a motion.
I'll
By
second.
myself.
I'll second.
So a motion by myself, seconded by Mr. McBride to add additions to the personnel of Candace Berkshire's resignation and Gary Basham for work program driver. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstaining? Let the minutes reflect by a 5-0 vote that the additions to personnel have been approved.
Make a motion that we approve the agenda with the aforementioned adjustments.
Second.
We have a motion by Mrs. Harvey, seconded by Mr. McBride to approve the agenda with the aforementioned adjustments. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Abstaining? Minutes reflect by a 5-0 vote that the agenda has been approved with the aforementioned adjustments. Item 4, is there no action on that one? So item 4 is employee disciplinary hearing. There's no action. Item 5, pause for applause. You have anything for that one?
Well, I can tell you one thing, the presentations are gonna kind of be both,
Okay.
but, Jumping Ranch Elementary, the principal there, Susan Newsom, just got a letter and a certificate of achievement from Michelle Blatt today, the West Virginia Department of Ed, superintendent, that Jumping Branch, congratulating them on Jumping Branch exceeds standard performance level in academic progress on English language arts on the 2025 Balance Scorecard.
Good. Great. All right, item 6, presentations. First, we have Ms. Cox and Ms. Richmond with the CFWV Champion Award recipient.
I will go over here so you guys don't have to like pinball back. So
Just so they can hear you.
Okay. The CFWV presents a Champion High School Award to schools who meet certain milestones. And they have a luncheon for the award recipients. So when I went to the board office to get my travel approved, Ms. Jones asked that we do a little presentation about the award. So basically, oh, that's not the right spot, but basically, we are a champion school this year, and we were considered a champion school in 2023. And what that means is that we excel in supporting students in their goals to be ready for any post-secondary career they or path they might take, whether it's college or technical school or military. There are 3 milestones that schools have to meet in order to be eligible for this award. The milestones are participate in college application and exploration week, participate in college decision day, and meet a 60% FAFSA completion goal or improve your FAFSA completion from the previous year by 5%. Malika.
So the college application and expiration week, this is a variety of things. We do daily morning announcements, advisory lessons and games with prizes. We have college reps that visit every day during lunch and advisory. Hinton Area Foundation Scholarship Committee comes and talks to the seniors. We also have a senior FAFSA night to help them understand it and help them apply. We have college and tech reps with a Q&A cafe. We did that this year, where they could just, go table to table and talk to them and learn different things that they need to know. And also promote a college going culture. This is, where the teachers have to really help support Ms. Cox because they have to implement all of these activities in their rooms.
So these are just some photos from this year. We had this college tech and rep Q&A cafe. So we had a few different representatives come and meet with our students. Mr. Wilburn's class made snacks that were really delicious. And some of them even set it up and, made sure that they were here to clean up. So they were very professional and they did a great job. It was a Gear Up sponsored event, so it tied in well with our college application and exploration week for our younger students. On the right, that's Miss Nancy Durnan meeting with our seniors to go over the application process for the Hinton Area Foundation Scholarship. This is a representative from Bluefield State. He was one of our few who came that week. We also have college reps who come all throughout the school year, but we really try to stack that week and have at least one person every day if possible. And then this is a picture from our FAFSA night. They will send us a representative from the CFWV to go over financial aid information and help our families fill out their FAFSA right here in the school building. You can talk about this.
So during this week, we had these little forms to fill out, and it kind of gives kids an understanding of why we went to college, why we attended the different schools that we did, because sometimes we don't always tell them that, we don't think about it, but it's nice for them to see kind of that personal connection of why we chose these different places.
We also have why apply day, why it's important to apply to any school. So sometimes people put apply so you can get your dream job, and some people put apply so you can reach your fullest potential. People put all kinds of different reasons.
And yeah, mine was like more simple because this was my master's degree, and I just basically said the truth. It was online, I could do it anywhere and do it while I was teaching. Sometimes the reasons are just, simple, and the kids need to see that.
And one of the most important things we really try to promote all year long, but especially during college application and exploration week, is that lots of times we have students and even families who think that college has to be Concord or Marshall or Harvard or whatever, but college is considered any training after school. So if you go to get your CDLs, that takes 6 weeks, but it's still college. You still need to file your FAFSA. You still have to fill out that New River application. It's the same process. It's a higher degree. It's college. And so we want students to know that college is not just for students who want to be doctors or teachers. It's for everybody. Oh, and we have more why applies. This is an example of the kids' favorite thing to do all the time. So whether it's Christmas, college application week, military exploration, whatever it is, the kids really love to do bingo. And it's not normal bingo. They actually get to leave their classroom. They have to go around and find someone who meets every single criteria on the board. They have to fill their whole board and get signatures from different people. And then the first 5 to fill their entire board, they come to me and they get like a little prize. But it just has different things that they have to understand, like find someone who has filed their FAFSA. Well, if you don't know what that is, it's hard to find someone who's done it. So they're just different college going things. And the goal is to not only like promote college going culture, but also to like show them different terms that they might not get at home or they might not get just in class. So like the different degree levels, what is the FAFSA, what is financial aid, just to broaden their vocabulary. So we do have some challenges when it comes to pushing out these activities. First of all, it's in October, so that's the date set by the CFWV, and that's also homecoming. So there are a lot of things we could do that we kind of scale back on because we've just done homecoming week, and we really need to focus more on instruction. It's also difficult just to not disrupt the learning process when you want to have school-wide events. We have a 30-minute block during advisory, and it's really good to use that time, but otherwise we try to just keep it to advisory and lunch.
We'll also add that for the advisor teachers, sometimes it's not always easy to get them to participate. Even though we make it very simple and laid out, sometimes it's not always there.
And I think that comes with like sometimes they might have a sub or
Yeah.
sometimes they might get the email lost amongst the others. We do try to make it as simple as possible. Like if there is something that needs printed or prepped, we try to prep everything ahead of time, but it is hard to get everybody on board because we have a big school and a lot of teachers. And then of course funding, because that's just an issue across the board, is making sure that you have funding for all the materials and all the activities. So College Decision Day. So this one is actually very near and dear to our hearts because it was actually created here in Summers County in 2014 by Melissa Kirkham and Carrie Vickers. This is where the students kind of declare their plans to go to a certain college. We ask their families to come and take a celebratory picture with them. They ask their teachers who they feel supported them to be in the picture. Then they eat a nice meal, and it's just a nice celebration for our kids. Anything to add? Well, and I want to add to that, that it is much nicer when Miss Richmond helps me. Because if I'm going to decorate it, it's not going to look good. So she's always really good to make sure that I can do the logistics and she can do
Just the
everything
extras.
that makes it special. Because that is not my wheelhouse. Here are some pictures of College Decision Day. And we usually have representatives from all the colleges that are nearby come. And then if a student is going out of state, we can usually email them and they can send some gear to take their picture.
I think the teachers really enjoy that too, because it makes them feel a little bit proud because they get invited to be there.
I think it is one of like the high points of the year for our teachers because we even have kids who will send emails to teachers from elementary school or from other counties and say, you've made a difference. You're the reason I'm here. So can you please be my picture? And people are really,
And not always teachers, sometimes it's just other staff members as well. So
Coaches.
it's really nice to see.
yeah. And the challenges surrounding that event is obviously sports. You never know when there's going to be regional baseball or track meet. So we have a hard time choosing a date. I think we've kind of learned that you just have to pick a date and stick to it, and hopefully people can make it. And then once again, funding, paying for food, paying for decorations, things like that it can add up. The last milestone that you have to meet is a FAFSA completion goal of 60% or 5% more than your previous year. So we do a lot of things to try to get that FAFSA completion goal met, and it is sometimes really hard because we have FAFSA meetings with students one-on-one. What is the FAFSA? We send out information to their families. We have FAFSA information nights after school, one-on-one FAFSA help during the school day. So if a kid or a parent needs any help, they can come to my office. We'll sit down and do it together. We do a FAFSA raffle. Our faculty senate has been wonderful to donate money to buy a PlayStation 5. So the last few years, anybody who does their FAFSA gets put in the raffle, and we've been able to give away a PlayStation 5, which is a big incentive for kids who maybe aren't even looking at college. They just want that PlayStation 5. But then once they do their FAFSA and they see that they're eligible for so much aid, then they see that college is possible. And obviously emails, phone calls, remind messages, just really pushing it out, asking the coaches to push it, asking the military reps to push it, and of course the teachers to push it out.
Yeah, the remind messages are even helpful for the teachers because like last year I had seniors, so I signed up for them and they would just send me a little reminder so that I could remind my advisory kids every day too.
This is a chart showing our FAFSA completion rate from 2015 to 2025. The Champion School Initiative started in 2019. And what Ms. Richmond and I were talking about is, I feel like we've actually met these milestones pretty much every year, but I just don't know whether we weren't registered or what. But as you can see, we've had consistently pretty good FAFSA completion rates. But as you can see in like 2024, there was a real dip. And a lot of that was because the new FAFSA came out. And if you remember, the governor like issued a state of emergency because it was such a mess and it was problematic. But the goal was always 60% or higher. And then of course, challenges with that, students just having access to the information they need, like their taxes, their, social security numbers. Students might think that they don't need the FAFSA because they're either they've got a job lined up or they've got a military plan. And, they really need to understand that plans change, which we see all the time. Difficult family dynamics. We have a lot of kids who are like estranged from their parents, or they're living with their grandparents, or they don't know, like, am I officially adopted? Am I in a legal guardianship? What is my actual, do I just live with my grandma? What's going on? So sometimes that can be a barrier for our kids. Parent access to the website and to the internet, transportation, if they need help getting to a FAFSA night, can be a barrier. And then the new FAFSA form was a barrier for everybody, but it is a lot better this year.
All right, so this is something new that we've been discussing and planning a little bit. We talked to Ms. Hawkins about it a little as well. So we have built this great culture for people going to college, and we want to try to, reach out to everybody else, our whole senior class. And so we would like to do something called Project Ready. Basically, it is to kind of design this program to, help all of our seniors become productive adults after they graduate. So students will engage in targeted learning experiences within 3 key areas: ready for independence, ready for the future, and ready for life, to develop the knowledge, skills, and habits necessary for success beyond the classroom. So once they graduate, they're prepared for many things and not just their college education. They will be considered champions once they finish the program, and they will receive a cord for graduation, a champion certificate, and hopefully we will be able to have funding to do a special event to give them their certificate and name them as champion. Some of the things that we are looking at for the different categories is taking kids on a bus to do their driver's learners or license. We're going to have a job fair, a transition fair. We want to do a week-long life skills kind of rotation for the seniors, where they learn things like taxes, budgeting, bill planning, how to do laundry, some things that they're not necessarily always going to see in the classroom, but it's going to help them get, a step forward. We even talked about the military coming in and doing a little bit of civil, civic duty kind of thing, about being good citizens, learning, about voting and different aspects of that. So this is something that we hope to pilot in the spring of 26, this spring, and then hopefully build on it next year as well. So,
But it would have a similar structure of certain milestones that they have to meet, and they might not be as specific. They might have different groups, and if you meet one of the events, then you would be considered a champion. But we just want our kids to know that, going to college or having a military plan is great, but also we just want you to be successful in life in all areas. So our goal is to provide a holistic education to them.
for everybody.
Yeah.
For the whole senior class.
Do you guys have any questions?
I had a few, but you progressed, you pretty well answered them all.
Oh,
But is the FAFSA still due early in the year?
So we say March 1st because the Promise Scholarship application is due March 1st. So I try to get everybody to get it in by March 1st. That never happens. And I think that's one reason actually why we didn't receive the champion status, is because there for a while, the cutoff was March 1st.
That was my big hang up. You have to have your taxes done, so you
Yeah.
be on that by
What-
March 1st.
Yeah, it's like the prior year. So usually, and then another good thing about the FAFSA is now it has an IRS data retrieval tool. So when you put in your social security number, it will link with your taxes if you file them online. And for the most part, it will just sync up. So that's good.
One thing you might try as far as pushing them to do the FAFSA and be able to be eligible for all that aid and hope scholarship and this and something like that they can qualify for, especially if they make good grades. And this was a driver for Canyon. It was. With all the scholarships and all the things he would make. It didn't cost him anything to go to school. He made a lot of money going to school.
Yeah.
And so that may, if somebody's
Yeah, and
pushed financially, that may do it. I mean, all you gotta do is just do well in school, and literally go locally.
And we're really lucky now because a new program, I mean, it's relatively new, is the West Virginia Invest Grant. So, community and technical colleges who participate that have programs that are applicable, like HVAC, welding, diesel mechanic, cybersecurity, business and accounting, those are covered under the West Virginia Invest, and students who apply by April 15th, file their FAFSA, pass a drug test, and then agree to live in West Virginia for 2 years can have their program totally tuition free, like pays their tuition fully. So that's an amazing opportunity.
So the Project Ready that you guys shared, how does that play into, or are you guys still doing the, advisory?
So
thing
advisory,
that you and Stover were doing?
we were doing that, like that was like a 5-day-a-week sort of thing a couple years ago. And then last year, that was more of we kind of shifted our focus to doing the reteach and enrichment through IXL. So our high school kids needed that extra 30 minutes for their math and reading. Now we're kind of doing a mix. If Ms. Hawkins wants to speak to that, she can, but the students are required to spend some time when they're IXL or progress learning, I think it's.
I did such tutoring on progress learning at the high school and IXL at the middle school.
Yeah, and the 9th grade has to do high dosage tutoring 4 days a week. So we try to plan one activity a week. And we're kind of just now getting into the groove of that since high dosage tutoring is 4 days a week and it's always Monday through Thursday. So we try to have at least a little something on Fridays.
We've been focusing more on mental health, this year, things like that. So we've done, suicide prevention in September. We did bullying in October, and this month we are actually doing gratitude. So we're trying to focus a little bit on that because there's a lot of students that need that.
Yeah. So we found that kind of choosing an overarching theme for the month has been better for us just because our kids have so much to do during advisory at this time already. So, and usually we try to do one school-wide event. We didn't do one in October because you already have college exploration and homecoming and they needed to be in class, but right now we're doing coin wars and our students are really into it. So that's kind of our big school-wide event. And then whichever team wins, so grade or the staff, will have an event for the winner. So. All right, thank you guys. Oh, sorry. I was trying to be helpful.
For somebody this year with M3P, we had a workshop in August that Mrs. Ayliff actually came to, where we were doing grade level improvements instead of just focusing on the student survey. We decided to design an activity based around our SAT scores as a state and things that each of our grade levels were not doing so well with. So we started the year doing an activity that the kids had never seen before, and I told them, it's just to learn how you guys learn, where your hangups are, where you already know this material, and it kind of shows us where to go. So that actually received a lot of positive feedback from the teachers across the state that did that, the grade level items that felt more connected to what they were doing. So that's definitely something we're going to keep. Then we focus on our local improvement teams. I have currently Ms. Ayliff and Mr. Goddard both on mine. We gave our student survey and the student survey gets the kids' impressions of the classroom. Who talks more in the classroom? Do you get a chance to work with your peers? Does the teacher want you to memorize things or use your thinking skills? So those kinds of questions are on it. And the one that we focused on for this portion of the year, I guess I should say, is tying real world topics into our mathematics, because that was where we felt we were a little low. Our kids responded a little worse on that. Interestingly, looking at the state data, the middle school kids do better than that on the, not, I shouldn't say do better, they view that better than the high school kids view that. That middle school kids seem to see more of a correlation, which I guess kind of makes sense, but keep from rambling. The biggest, most exciting thing to me is the Nashville Summit that I just came back from. It was a summit for improvement in education. And the whole thing is based around improvement science. I don't know how many of you all have heard of improvement science, but started with industry, moved to healthcare, now it's in education. We focus on problems wherever we're at. So problems in the classroom, things that I want to address in the classroom. And then we come up with a small change idea, we test it, come back, we see how the test went. So that's what improvement science is. And this entire conference was full of people from across the East Coast that work in improvement science. We got to network with teachers from, not just teachers, but people from Chicago, Baltimore public schools, New York City schools, and see that they're doing some of the same types of things that we're doing. It was really, really nice. After our presentation, we had several people, especially people from New York City schools, talk to us continually about the things that we're doing for the rest of the week. I also got to attend a couple of really interesting sessions on using improvement science for math fluency to help improve that. I think that was Chicago's public schools was doing that. And then I forget which part of the country was doing it, but they were working on attendance using improvement science, trying different changes to see how that. And I was really interested in that session, but it turns out that we as a school are already doing all the things that they were trying as new things. So pat on our backs. I also got to go observe a teacher from Pocahontas County a couple weeks ago. She's actually going to come here as soon as she's working with Nicholas County, but she's in Pocahontas County. It's one of those weird deals where the grant ended and the funding started and all of that. But she's going to try to come here. She wants to see my SAT review station. So I'm going to try to show her that. I feel like I'm all over the place, but when I was at the conference, my portion of the presentation, I ended showing our SAT scores because yes, we're still not doing great, but we are above the state average. And not only that, but we've been the only one to have the kind of growth that we had in 23-24 and maintain it. So we were the second highest growth in the state that year behind Paw Paul High School, and theirs has since gone back down, and ours has maintained. So I do credit that in part to the work that I'm doing with this group, because the ideas, simple ideas, use a timer. Everybody knows to use a timer, when we forget to use a timer. So I go and I see it in action in somebody else's classroom and it clicks, oh, hey, remember, do this. So this year what I brought back is things about discourse from the lady in Pocahontas County. She's great with it. She reminds me, it's again, a simple little thing. Tell the kids, turn and talk to your partner. Turn and talk to your partner. Instead of assuming telling them they can talk is not as effective as telling them to talk. So just simple little things like that I get from these visits. I always feel like I come away with more direction for my classes than the feedback that I'm able to give them. I always feel like it's so helpful to my practice to be able to do this. So I'm just really excited to be able to continue this work. I mean, I do feel like it has made a difference in my classroom. I know it's made a difference in the way that I teach. That is 100% sure. There are definite things that I have changed and improved on since I've been part of this project. One of the things that I showed them at the conference was the poster. I don't know how many of you all been out by my classroom, but I've got a big poster printed outside my classroom. Last year, I gave the kids a journal prompt that said, why don't teachers like tricks in math? And I took their answers and I made a poster out of it, and it's hanging by my room every day. So they can remember, focus on the vocabulary, focus on what you are learning, focus on how to do it, why to do it, not just memorization. So, when I look over my notes, I printed a lot of notes, and I'm trying to keep it brief. Did you all have any questions about anything that we've done so far this year? Because I know, I'm trying to keep you guys updated on all the stuff because you supported me so much through it.
Just glad that you're able to put it into practice in the classroom. That's the benefit that we like to hear about.
Yeah.
you go to these trainings, how you can apply.
Yeah,
your
absolutely.
classroom And also share that.
Well, and that's, I'm gonna speak with Kristen Richmond because I've got some research on improvement science, and I'm gonna talk to her and see if we can start this, because the math fluency thing got me thinking, where she works with the elementary school coaches, or teachers, excuse me. That got me thinking, hey, if I could get her to kind of looking at this and see what we could do, if we could kind of spread this out just a little bit, I think that would be great to kind of have these little pockets in all the elementary schools, because fluency, people think of fluency as just efficiently getting a problem right. But there's a little bit more to it. If the kids don't understand the concept, that memorization is not going to stay there. It's just not. We all know how memory works. Mine's not nearly as good as it used to be, but and again, thank you guys so much for your continued support in this, because even year to year in the student survey questions, I can see growth across the years on things like my teacher wants me to use my thinking skills instead of just memorization. That one has increased as years have gone through. The amount of students that recognize they get a chance to work with partners, they get a chance to critique each other's reasoning. So those little things mean a lot to those kids, knowing that their voices are heard and that I am making changes because of the things that they suggest. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, our next item is public comment. None. Item 8, we have approval of minutes of the October 27th, 2025 regular meeting.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes from the October 27th, 2025 regular meeting.
Second.
We have a motion by Mrs. Harvey, seconded by Mr. McBride, to approve the minutes from the October 27th, 2025 meeting. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstaining? Let the minutes reflect by a 5-0 vote that the October 27th, 2025 meeting minutes have been approved.
I'm gonna step out for the thing with RT Rogers Field, because it's a conflict of interest.
And if, for the videoing of this meeting, Mr. Brogan just stated that he was stepping out for the payment of RT Rogers as it is a conflict of interest.
I'll make a motion to pay RT Rogers.
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. McBride, seconded by Mrs. Harvey to pay RT Rogers. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstaining? Let the minutes reflect by a 4-0 vote with Mr. Brogan recusing himself that the bills for RT Rogers have been approved for payment. Okay, we have before us now the remainder of the bills.
I'll make a motion, we pay the rest of the bills.
We have a motion by Mr. McBride, seconded by Mrs. Harvey, that we pay the remainder of the bills. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Opposed? Abstaining? Let the minutes reflect by a 5-0 vote that the remainder of the bills have been approved for payment. Item 10, old business, and again, this is just an ongoing agenda item, discussion regarding a May 26 levy. Do we have any discussion or anything we would like to talk about? We do have the feedback from the survey. If not, do you want to talk about the feedback? Have you?
There were 2 surveys. One was faculty and staff, accessible to them, and one was the community, family, whoever else wanted to. So they're kind of separated by that. They were identical. It was just the last levy 4 sections. And then finally, a yes, no, would you? So we've just given you the copy of the comment.
$73 of our faculty and 116. Yeah, that's what I was just getting ready to say. Since we just received these today, it would be good if we can all just take a look at this, review it, and then we can talk about it at the next board meeting. If there's anything regarding the levy you would like to discuss now, we can. If not, we'll review these and we can come back and talk about that at the second meeting this month. All right, hearing nothing, we will move to item 11, new business, purchases over 25,000. None. Item B, discussion or possible action to approve policies. We have policy 6, Roman numeral 6-H-4, criteria for the successful completion of graduation requirements, and Roman numeral 8-N-3, requisitioning and purchasing procedure.
Brooke, did you get in on the game early enough to give any input or see any changes that needs to be made to this?
And Dr. Knott, based on our conversation regarding that purchasing procedure, that a lot of that was guidance provided by the state
Yeah.
on what that policy needed to have in it.
Were there have there been any comments? There were no comments that were given to me. I don't know about.
If you all don't mind, I would like on this script to be able to review it, since you just started today, if that's possible.
Yeah, we could postpone that until the next board meeting.
Thank
And we would just follow our current policy until we approve it, so.
Motion.
So let's split these up. If we're ready to move forward, let's go ahead. I will make a motion that we approve policy Roman numeral 6-H-4, criteria for the successful completion of graduation requirements.
Second.
So we have a motion by myself, seconded by Mr. Brogan, to approve policy Roman numeral 6-H-4, criteria for the successful completion of graduation requirements. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, abstaining. Let the minutes reflect by a 5-0 vote that policy 6-H-4, criteria for the successful completion of graduation requirements, has been approved. As far as policy 8-N-3, I'll make a motion that we postpone taking any action on that policy until the next board meeting.
Second.
Motion by myself, seconded by Mr. McBride, that regarding policy 8-N-3, requisitioning and purchasing procedure, we postpone any action on that policy until the next board meeting this month. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstaining? Let the minutes reflect by a 5-0 vote, we will postpone any action on policy 8-N-3, requisitioning and purchasing procedure, until the next board meeting. And I don't have the date in front of me, so, okay. Item C, discussion or possible action to place the following policies out for public comment. So we have these listed on our agenda. They were on the agenda when it was posted and sent out, so I'm not going to read all these. Yeah, thank you. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 policies that will be placed out for public comment.
Make a motion that we approve the policies that have been presented to be placed out for public.
Second.
So we have a motion by Mrs. Harvey, seconded by Mr. Brogan. Help me there. That the policies listed under item C be placed out for public comment. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining. The minutes reflect by 5-0 vote that the policies listed under new business, item C, will be placed out for public comment. Item D, discussion regarding drawing meeting attendance, PTO, civic groups, and board meetings. Who wants to talk about this one? I think this has been something we've attempted for many years to try to increase our attendance. I don't know how, I haven't looked. Dr. Green has our recording or YouTube channel. Does it get viewed very often after the meeting or during the meeting?
Right now, for example, there's 9.
Okay,
And it's usually somewhere between 10 or so around that number. So
okay.
it's pretty consistent. I can kind of go back and look at
That's
it.
no need. No, I was just kind of curious what kind of numbers we were seeing. Thank you.
I'm pretty sure it's a dedicated 9 or 10 though.
Yeah.
Great. There's currently 9 watching.
Okay. Are you watching?
Yes.
So there's 8 in you. Okay. Is Joey watching with you? If he is, we'll count 10 then.
Well, no, he's that number included us together watching on the big screen, so.
As far as meetings go, I think that from my standpoint or from my history, I guess, and you all have probably a similar experience. Elementary school is easy to get parents involved. As kids get older, it's more difficult to get parents involved. Our elementary PTOs generally do fairly well. But as far as our board meetings, we've tried many different things to try to get people to come. We've tried to make sure we have meetings in the evenings so we could have people here after work. We've tried moving them around to different locations. If there are any other suggestions on what we can do to get people here.
Well, anytime we showcase the students,
Mhm.
there is obviously folks here.
Yeah.
Don't want to hold them over.
I don't say, but to be fair, they're there for that part.
Right. And then
Yeah.
they're gone. And I think to build on that, something thought of is maybe, asking the PTO presidents to come and do a presentation, throughout the year
Mhm.
of what their efforts have been. Even, and I mentioned this before in other years, of asking from the high school, the student body president and vice president to maybe come twice a year and give kind of their state of the address
Mhm.
from the student's perspective. And maybe it's, inviting these groups to be delegates, presenters.
It would be very simple to just post it on your Facebook. Board meeting this evening or board meeting tomorrow, or whatever, can't hurt.
That is something I've seen the city of Hinton in their meetings. They started to post an agenda image of their agenda to their page. And then that makes it easier, I think, for the council people to share out. Well, along with others.
I know we're putting our agendas and our documents in a location that can be accessed from our website. How difficult would it be to share those on potentially on social media. And then whenever it's shared, then other people could also share it out with their group.
We'll do that.
We can talk about it
Yeah.
and work out a way that
I don't think it
would
would
be.
be too hard.
So we can always like put the link,
Yeah.
Mhm.
with the link and like in the description before we post the link, we can like, this is, meeting at this time, day and time, click the link below to see the agenda. Because our agendas are several pages long, posting the
Posting it,
pictures is
Right.
a little bit more difficult, but if we could do the link, and then just put the date and time and location, yeah, we can make that happen.
Yeah, I like that idea. And then the other thing I was thinking about, we have civic groups listed here. We had, can't think of her name, the lady that came and talked to us after we did the train derailment
Miss Eads.
scenario, Miss Eads.
Miss Eads.
Yeah, I think that anytime that there's something like that in the community, it would be good for us to ask them to come in and give us any information they're able to share. In turn, they may ask us to come and share some of our information at their meetings, but so
That's
be
how
it.
should be.
I think there is a willingness right now between a lot of the different community organizations and the county commission, what have you, to work together with us and us working with them. So I think that would be a good opportunity for us to try to reach out as well. All right, any other comments related to this topic? All right, item 12, personnel. We have before us resignation and retirements, leave of absence. We have employment, extra duty, extracurricular, volunteer personnel, employment, substitute service personnel, and homebound teachers. Just as a note, when we were at our early agenda item, all of these names have been posted with the exception of two that were mentioned earlier. And that was adding Candace Berkshire under resignation retirements and Gary Basham under employment, extra duty, extracurricular, volunteer personnel. All the other names were listed at the time of the agenda being posted and sent out.
I'd like to make a motion based on West Virginia Code 6-9A-4 under paragraph 2 for personnel that go into executive session.
Second. A motion on the floor by Mrs. Harvey, seconded by Mr. McBride, according to West Virginia Code 6-9A-4, paragraph 2, personnel, that we go into executive session. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstaining. The minutes reflect by 5-0 vote, we will go into executive session. The time is 6:48 PM. 6:59 PM. So we now have before us the superintendent's recommendations for personnel.
Make a motion that we approve the recommendations for the superintendent. Or superintendent's recommendations for personnel.
Second.
A motion on the floor by Mrs. Harvey, seconded by Mr. McBride, that we approve the superintendent's recommendations for personnel. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed? Abstaining? Minutes reflect by a 5-0 vote, the superintendent's recommendation for personnel has been approved. Item 13, superintendent's report.
I don't have anything.
Okay. Item 14, discussion of next agenda. Let's talk about the date.
Thanksgiving.
Yeah, let's talk about the date first. Get my calendar out here. Not that I don't want to spend, my Thanksgiving week with you all, but
Yeah, I was gonna
so
ask if we could
do,
maybe change.
what would work best? We do one the week before, how would that affect bills and what have you?
Well, because we're gonna have to adjust. We're gonna have to adjust for the last week of December too.
Yeah,
Could we do it like later on in the?
could we do it
week, like
on the,
Friday?
or
First?
I'm thinking either the 21st or the 1st of December.
Like that early one in December, only have one other one skip on.
We could potentially do that if it would work out for the office, is do what Kenny's saying, is do one the week after Thanksgiving in December, early in December, and then just hold one other meeting in December.
The other meeting in December.
We could be
Whatever
flexible.
works for the bills primarily.
Yeah.
Either do it the
Don't mess up the break.
week before Christmas week or the week after, whichever works out for me and stuff.
I'm available either one.
Joey said you had to come Thanksgiving week, Renee.
Really, whatever.
No, he didn't. He said I had to walk to the meeting if it's Thanksgiving week because he.
Because we would still have to have bills out. Have to have everything processed by the 24th.
Of November.
November, if it was the first. That's right. Or the 25th.
If we had it on the 1st, the agenda would go out on Wednesday. So
Okay.
we could do it on the 2nd, and then the agenda would still go out on Wednesday. Actually, it would have to go out on Tuesday if we had it on the 1st. You're right. I forgot to add that holiday in there.
Probably December 2nd and then December 30th. I mean, if that's.
Yep.
Whatever fails.
Would you say the second and
Like that last week of December.
like the 29th and 30th?
Mm-hmm. Then last week in December, do we want to do? Does the 30th work if we do it on that Tuesday? Bill wise? Okay. So, let's go ahead if it's okay with everyone. We had November 25th at Hinton area.
Wait a second. What does the central office get off for Christmas? How will we get an agenda out?
We get the holidays. They can take days off, but we don't get off. Somebody
Sure
will be there.
somebody's there. Make that shit.
Well, so if we had it on the 30th, the agenda would need to go out by the 23rd. If you all are in the office on the 24th, it could go out the 24th. But if not, if we got it out by the 23rd, that would be the safe bet, so. So we'll have, if it's okay, let's go ahead and keep the December 2nd meeting at Hinton area, since that's where our November 25th meeting was gonna be. And then the December 30th meeting, since the schools are not in session, let's just have that one. Let's have that at the board office, if that's okay. Any objections to that?
So it's 6.
Still, we could do an earlier one on the 30th probably, if you all would like to. We could probably do 5,
We would probably like that.
4:30. We might even be able to do 4:30 if that would, could you all do 4:30?
Yeah.
Let's do on December 30th, let's do 4:30 then.
Okay, so on December 2nd, you said it's at HAE?
It's at Hinton area at 6.
Okay,
And then on December
At 6.
30th, it'll be at the board office at 4:30.
okay, sounds good.
If there's any agenda items that we want for December 2nd, I would like to, send an invitation out to our cross-country team to come in, and our golf team, yes,
And our band.
golf. Cross-country. We can recognize them in their band. Any other items we want to address? Thinking of something earlier. Don't know if I wrote it down or not. Must not have. Okay. Well, as always, if you think of something for the agenda on December 2nd, reach out to Dr. Knott or myself. We can get that added on. Mr. McBride,
Make a motion, we adjourn. Time is 7:10.
Second.
we have a motion by Mr. McBride, seconded by Mr. Brogan, that we adjourn this meeting. Any discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstaining? Let the minutes reflect by a 5-0 vote. This meeting is now adjourned. The time is 7:10 PM.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.